it's time for some more of the Avatar, The Last Airbender beginners box. So we have the attacking, find ways to always attack, um, Jumpstart deck. Purple Pentapus. It's a 1/1 creature, an octopus starfish for a swamp. When this creature enters Surveil, the reminder text says look at the top card of your library. You may put it into your graveyard. You can pay 2 in a swamp. Tap an untapped creature you control. Return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So, Surveil, in my opinion, is not as desirable as Scry, but the ability to look at the top card of your library and decide if you want it there or not, regardless of whether it's Surveil or Scry, is decent because, oh, I don't like this. In this case, it's Surveil. It would go to the graveyard. And then maybe you have stuff to get back from the graveyard later. But yeah, you Surveil or Scry to potentially get top deck something better. This guy's a 1/1 for 1 mana, so obviously you don't care about, attacking with it, especially where you can pay 3 to get it back later. Corrupt Court Official. It's a 1/1 creature, a human advisor for 1 in a swamp. When this creature enters, target opponent discards a card. So, I mean, this one is a 1/1, same as the last card, but it costs 1 more. Um, Probably because forcing your opponent to discard is worth more than paying mana to get something back from your graveyard. Merchant of Many Hats. It's a 2/2 creature, a human peasant ally for 1 in a swamp. You can pay 2 and a swamp to return this card from your graveyard to your hand. So, again, another creature that doesn't matter whether you attack with it or not, because you could get it back from your graveyard later. Pretending Poxbearer. It's a 2/1 creature, a human cis and ally for 1, and then it's a split mana cost that you would pay either a point or a swamp. Whenever this creature dies, create a 1/1 white ally creature token. So, a 2/1 for 2 mana that when it dies creates a 1/1. I mean, that seems about right, or, kind of good for the mana cost to value. Next, we have Fire Nation Ambassadors. It's a 3/2 creature, a human soldier for 2 in a swamp. It has flash. The reminder text says you may cast this spell anytime you could cast an instant. Hail by Spirit of Balance. It's a 3/3, a legendary creature, a bear spirit for 2, and then 2 of the split mana costs that could be either a plains or swamp. So a total of 4 converted mana costs, 2 of which are mana symbols that could be either or. When Heibai enters or attacks, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, put 2 1/1 counters on Heibai. When Heibai leaves the battlefield, put its counters on target creature you control. So where you have a couple of creatures already that we've seen that you can pay mana to bring them back to the battlefield. Um, you know, sacking those creatures to put 1/1 counters on this guy, to then later bring those creatures back. You're pumping this guy to then have those guys come back as another sack outlet to buff them again. If this guy happens to die, you can move it to 1/1 counters, given if it gets exiled instead of going to the graveyard, you don't get to move the counters because it's very Oh, actually, sorry, when it leaves the battlefield. So it would happen when it exiled. I was thinking it was just on dying, but it's not. So that's even better. Lion Vulture. It's a 2/2 creature, a cat bird for 3 in a swamp, which seems odd that it's a lion vulture. I mean, yes, the head and neck do sort of look like a vulture, but my first thought when seeing the picture was almost like that's a weird ass looking turkey. Not oh, that's a combination between a lion and a vulture. But yeah, it's a 2/2. It has flying. The reminder text says this creature can't be blocked except for by creatures with flying or reach. At the beginning of your end step, if an opponent lost life this turn, put a 1/1 counter on this creature and draw a card. And the reminder text says damage causes loss of life. So, I mean, for 4 mana, you got a 2/2 flyer that can get buffed and draw you a card if you're doing damage to your opponent, so that's pretty good. And um, where the deck theme is attacking, it's kind of rewarding you for attacking. Beetle-headed merchants. It's a 5/4 creature, a human citizen for 4 in a swamp. Whenever this creature attacks, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, draw a card and put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Again, a card that's rewarding you for attacking, given there's the drawback of having to sacrifice a creature to draw and get the counters, but where some of the creatures you can um, pay to bring them back from your graveyard. I mean, that's a small price, sacrificing something to draw and buff a creature to, if you can get stuff back from the graveyard. Cat Gator, again, they're combining two different creatures, so it almost feels like they were bored and like, what would happen if we combine these creatures? Um, the picture, you can't really tell the cat part so much. You can tell it's supposed to look like an alligator, though. It's a 3/2 creature, a fish crocodile, which seems weird that it's a fish if it's called cat gator. Costs 6 in a swamp. Has lifelink. Whenever this creature enters, it deals damage equal to the number of swamps you control to any target. So, I mean, where this costs 7, you're potentially um, dealing 7 damage to a opponent or to a creature that's getting annoying when you play this. Obviously, there's ways of cheating stuff out that you would pay less mana, so you might not be paying the full 7 converted mana cost to deal that much damage. But either way, it's a 3/2 with lifelink. That's doing damage when it enters the battlefield. So, um, pretty cool, even if it's um, the full uh, mana cost is a lot. Heartless Act. It's an instant for 1 in a swamp. Choose one. Destroy target creature with no counters on it, or remove up to 3 counters from target creature. Epic Downfall. It's a sorcery for 1 in a swamp. Exile a target creature with mana value 3 or greater. Delete and Indoctrination. So sorcery lesson, choose one. Target opponent reveals their hand, you choose a non-land permanent card from it. That player discards that card. Or Earthbound 2. The reminder text says, target land you control becomes a 0/0 creature with haste that's still a land. Put 2/1/1 counters on it. When it dies or is exiled, return it to the battlefield tapped. So, I mean, that's kind of cool that you could either force your opponent to discard or make one of your lands a creature that's still a land. Thriving More. It's a land that enters tapped. As it enters, choose a color other than black. Tap to add a swamp or 1 mana of the chosen color. So I feel like this is probably in every of the Jumpstart decks, just so if it does have the split mana cost, you could pay the other color if you chose to for some reason. Then we got to the basic lands. There are 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 swamps in that Jumpstart deck. The next one is Firebending. So the symbol is a mountain. Um, Deserter Discipline, or sorry, Deserter's Disciple. It's a 2/2 creature, a human rebel ally for 1 in a mountain. Tap. Another target creature you control with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn. Fire Sages. It's a 2/2 creature, a human cleric for 1 in a mountain. Firebending 1. The reminder text says, whenever this creature attacks, add a mountain. This mana lasts until end of combat. And then you can pay 1 and 2 mountains, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. So that's pretty cool that you can buff it as much as you want as long as you have the mana to um, spend on it, and it has the um, firebending 1, so you have 1 mana you can put towards buffing it in addition to whatever land or um, mana rocks or mana dorks you might end up having. Given this is a jumpstart deck, you could take the jumpstart deck to make an actual deck. Yu Archer. It's a 3/1 creature, a human archer for 1 in a mountain. Has reach, which to me almost seems obvious if it's an archer to be like, oh, it can block flying because you would shoot your bow and arrow at a bird or whatever. When this creature enters, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. So red kind of has that feel of Um, you know, drawing a card costs you discarding a card, um, whereas blue is more likely to have the card draw without a drawback, or at least not a drawback as much as red would have. Vindictive Warden. So 2/3 creature, a human soldier for 2, and then it has the split mana cost of either a swamp or a mountain. Has menace. The reminder text says this creature can't be blocked except by 2 or more creature. Has Firebending 1, which the reminder text says when this creature attacks, add a mountain. This mana lasts until end of combat. And you can pay 3. This creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. And it's actually pretty cool because the damage that you're paying 3 for doesn't require you to tap this creature. So you could attack with the creature and then use the 1 mound from the firebending towards that 3 to deal damage to your opponent. Some creatures that are like, this creature deals 1 damage to, you know, a, a target, whether it's an opponent, whether it's a creature, or just, in general, a target. A lot of the creatures that say do a damage to whatever usually require you to tap the creature to deal the 1 damage, so you can't attack with the creature if you want to, do the damage. But this, you get the best of both worlds. You get to attack, and you do spend mana to do the damage, but that's like, you know, not really a drawback if you have the mana to pay to do the damage. Loyal Fire Sage. It's a 3/3 creature, a human cleric ally for 2 in a mountain. Firebending 1. Whenever this creature attacks, add a mountain. This mana lasts until end of combat. You can pay 5 to create a 1/1 white ally creature token. I mean, 5 seems like a lot of mana to create a 1/1, but with the firebending, you're reducing the cost from 5 to 4, basically, because, um, so, I mean, it's a 3/3 that if you have the mana, you can make tokens. Zuko, Exiled Prince. It's a 4/3 legendary creature, a human noble for 3 in a mountain. It has Firebending 3. The reminder text says whenever this creature attacks, add 3 mountains. This mana lasts until end of turn. You can pay 3, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. So with the firebending ability on this card, you're basically paying the 3 mana to exile the top card of your library. You're basically getting that ability for free, even though it's a mana ability, because of the firebending on this card. So that's kind of cool. Given, you may play that card this turn, so like you have a limit of when you can, like how soon you have to do it, and it doesn't say without paying its mana cost. So you do have to have the mana open to play whatever it is that you're exiling from the top of your library. Fire Nature or Fire Nation Archers. The 3/4 creature, a human archer for 3 in a mountain, has reach. The reminder text says this creature can block creatures with flying. You can pay 5 mana. This creature deals 2 damage to each opponent. Create a 2/2 red soldier token. So the 5 mana ability on this one is not only doing damage, but it's creating a token, which is better than the other um, one in this jumpstart. It was Loyal Fire Sage, cost 5 to create a 1/1 token. This is 5 to deal 2 damage to each opponent and create a 2/2 token. So your token off this one is bigger than the other and also is doing damage. So that's pretty good. More value for the mana ability on the card. Rough Rhino Cavalry. It's a 5/5 creature, a human mercenary for 4 and a mountain. I mean, where it has Rhino in the name, I almost was expecting the creature type to be a Rhino, but that's neither here nor there. You know, it's almost like the, you know, people are riding the Rhino, so it, you know, I guess being a cavalry, instead of it being, people on horseback, it's people riding rhinos. Has Firebending 2. Whenever this creature attacks, add 2 mounds. This mana lasts until end of combat. Exhaust. You can pay 8, put 2 1/1 counters on this creature. It gains trample until end of turn. Activate each exhaust ability only once. So, I mean, 8 seems like a lot to give 2 1/1 counters and trample until end of turn, but I mean, this guy's a 5/5, so for it to become a 7/7 permanently and get trample until end of turn, that could make the difference between winning the game or not. You know, the extra 2 damage, potentially trampling over one of your opponent's creatures. Mongoose Lizard, again, another one of those odd, let's combine 2 creatures. It's a 5/6 creature, a mongoose lizard. Okay, so the creature type actually matches the name as opposed to whatever it was, the cat crocodile or something that was a fish crocodile instead. So it actually matches. But yeah, 5/6 for 4 and 2 mounds. Has menace. The reminder text says this creature can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. When this creature enters, it deals 1 damage to any target. And it has Mound Cycling 2. The reminder text says you could pay 2, discard this card, search your library for a mound card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. So, I mean, where this costs 6, if you're getting mana screwed, but happen to draw this, early on, you could, pay 2 and discard this to look for a mound to help with getting mana screwed. But, a 5/6 was menace, dealing 1 damage to a target when it enters. Like, you want to weigh whether you want to use it to get a land or wait and hope you make it until you get 6 mana. Lightning Strike. It's an instant for 1 and a mountain. Lightning Strike deals 3 damage to any target. How to start a riot. feel like there's a song, Let's Start a Riot, so uh, probably not supposed to be meant as a nod to that, but just kind of like interesting and a kind of like random thought in my that came to my head. It's a instant lesson for 2 and a mountain. Target creature gains menace until end of turn. The reminder text is it can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. Creatures target player controls gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Presumably, you're going to target yourself. This creature's this one of your creatures is getting menace, and then all of your creatures are getting +2/+0. So then, when the one creature with menace is getting blocked, it's doing a little bit more damage to those 2 creatures. Roku's Mastery. It's an instant for X and 2 mountains. Roku Mastery deals X damage to any or damage to target creature. If X is 4 or greater, scry 2. The reminder text says look at the top 2 cards of your library, then put any number of those on the bottom and the rest on top in any order. So potentially killing a creature, and if you spend 4 or more for X, you're also scrying. So hopefully bettering the odds of top decking something you would like. Thriving Bluff. This land enters tapped as it enters, choose a color other than red. Tap to add a mound or 1 mana of the chosen color. So I guess it makes sense, but the lands that you're choosing a color and it taps for the color, uh, you know, associated with the Jumpstart deck or the color you're choosing. They all have different names. And then we're to the basic lands. You have 7 mounds. Next we have big creatures. Battle with the biggest, and it's a green theme. I don't remember if I talked about this previously or not, like in a previous video, so I just go through it. We have Turtle Duck, again, with the combining 2 creatures, but you can kind of tell the turtle shell on the duck. It's a 0/4 creature, a turtle bird for a forest. You can pay 3 until end of turn. This creature has base power 4 and gains trample. So a 0/4 for 1, but you can pay 3 to make it 4/4 with trample. Given the power and trample part are until end turn, so you're continually paying 3 to make it a 4/4 with trample. But I mean, to put it on the board for 1 and pay 3 later, like that benefits. You're not waiting until 4 mana to have. You're paying 1 to have it out early and buffing it later. Raucous Audience. It's a 2/1 creature, a human citizen for 1 in a forest. Tap to add a forest. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, add 2 forests instead. Frog Squirrels. Again, with the combining creature theme. It's a 2/2 creature, a frog squirrel for 1 in a forest. Has reach. The reminder text says this creature can block creatures with flying. Ostrich Horse. They just have a thing for combining creatures, I guess. I mean, I guess I could sort of see where it has like more of ostrich legs kind of on a horse body. Um, it almost, and then like a bird beak. At first glance, it almost looked like a moose without antlers, but I mean, obviously it's not a moose, it's a horse. Um, yeah, it's a 3/1 creature, a bird horse for 2 in a forest. When this creature enters, mill 3 cards. So kind of a drawback. Like milling 3 cards when something costs 3 seems like a lot for a 3/1. You may put a land card from among them into your hand. So, like, okay, you're getting a land if you milled it out of that 3. If you don't put a 1/1 counter on this creature, again, you're maybe getting a land, maybe you're making a 4/2. Like, I could go either way where you have to mill cards. I don't like getting rid of cards and then not being able to get them back. Match the odds. It's a sorcery lesson for 2 in a forest. Create a 1/1 white ally creature token. Put a 1/1 counter on it for each creature your opponent controls. So 1/1 token that could get any number of 1/1 counters, so it could potentially just be a 1/1, or it could potentially be a 20/20 or a 50/50, depending on how many creatures your opponent has. So, very situational, depending on, the power and toughness depends on your opponent, but, for 3 to potentially get, you know, something that enters in double digit power and toughness, I mean, that potential is good for the mana cost. Eel Hounds. It's a 4/2 creature, a fish dog for 3 in a forest. Has Trample. The reminder text says this creature can deal excess combat damage to the player it's attacking. Whenever this creature attacks another target creature, you get +2/+2 and Trample until end of turn. So not only is it a 4/2 with Trample, but it buffs another creature, giving it +2/+2 and Trample until end of turn. I mean, that's pretty strong. Hippo Cow, the 5/4 creature, a Hippo Ox for 4 in the forest. It has Trample. Saber-tooth Moose Lion. I mean, how many of the combined creatures are we gonna have? It's a 7/7 creature, an elk cat for 4 and 2 forest. Has reach and forest cycling 2. So you could pay 2, discard this card, search your library for a forest card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. I mean, it's a 7/7 with reach for 6, so about what I'd expect for um, value for the mana cost. Not crazy, but not bad either. Flopsy Boomy's Buddy. It's a 4/4 legendary creature, an ape jet goat for 4 and 2 forest. When Flopsy enters, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Each creature you control with power 4 or greater can't be blocked by more than one creature. Mechanical Glider. It's an artifact equipment for 1. When this equipment enters, attach it to target creature you control. Equipped creature has flying, and the equip cost is 2. Hog Monkey Rampage. It's an instant for 1, and it's a split mana cost of either mountain or forest. choose target creature you control and target creature and opponent control. Put a 1/1 counter on the creature you control if it has power 4 or greater. Then those creatures fight each other. And the reminder text says each deals damage equal to its power to the other. Simic Tutelage. It's a enchantment aura for 3 in the forest. Enchant creature. When enchanted creature enters, put a 1/1 counter on enchanted creature. When enchanted creature attacks, double the number of 1/1 counters on it. So that's pretty powerful because you're adding counters to a creature and then doubling it every time it attacks. That's good, strong, fast. Thriving Grove. This land enters tapped. As it enters, choose a color other than green. Tap to add a forest or 1 mana of the chosen color. Then we go to the basic lands. So we have 7 forests. And we will next time we will start on earthbending, so hopefully you found some value in this. Thanks and have a good day.